Ray, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good, Ariel. Thanks for having me on.
No, it's a pleasure. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it. So first things first, how are you feeling? How's your eye?
I'm fine. It's better. They gave me some antibiotics to put on my eye. That way, the lacerations on my eye don't get infected. They gave me some numbing drops. So, I'm feeling fine. They said it should heal up pretty quick.
Okay, so could we go back to that day? You're leaving media day. You get on the bus, and then what do you see?
It was kind of crazy. In the video, you can obviously hear me yelling at them and like calling them, profanity words, just because it was really unexpected. We were sitting there on the bus, and all of a sudden, a bunch of guys start banging on the windows. And to be honest, I really thought they were just like really hardcore loyal Khabib fans. So I was trying to look like, like certain directions to see what the hell was going on, because there's all kinds of banging. I was like, man, this is crazy. And the next thing you know, I hear a couple people yell out, oh, it's Conor, it's Conor McGregor, blah, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, this fucking dolly just slams into the window. And the reason why I got up all kind of crazy and hyped up and yelled at them is because that is when, I was sitting there minding my own business, trying to figure out what the hell was going on. And then all that glass just shattered right into my face, which has kind of caused me to pop up and get a reaction out of me. Otherwise, I could give two shits about what was going on. And, and then after that, I believe his kickboxing coach or whoever it was, after the dolly was thrown, they threw another trash can, to the front windshield, which almost went through the front windshield, but, it managed to just, crack the glass all crazy. And, after that, they kind of, took us to a holding area for a while until the police got there. We had to speak to them. And after that, was about it.
Were you on the side of the bus where the dolly hit? Like, was that your seat right there next to that window?
Yeah, I was right by Michael Chiesa. I didn't get glass in my eye from the other side of the bus. I was at that window. That's why I popped up kind of all crazy yelling, is because it was like super unexpected, because I know there's a bunch of glass splattered in my face, and it kind of pissed me off when it happened. So yeah, I was right there next to Michael Chiesa.
The one thing that I keep thinking about is, I don't know if you've seen the footage. I'm sure you have. The dolly kind of hit half the window and half like the side beam. If the side beam wasn't there, if it was just a couple inches further, I feel like it would have gone right through the window. Did you think of that?
Yeah, to be honest, I honestly thought it was just maybe like a really strong window, or just the force, whatever. And then I went and seen like the inside view of the window, and that if it didn't hit that beam and bounce out, that it would have went completely through. That would have caused far more injury.
Okay, so once it happens, do you notice that there's glass in your eye? Like, are you in pain right away? How does that unfold?
Yeah, well, so that's another thing that everyone's trying to slander me on the internet for, is that for the brief 4 seconds they saw me in that embedded video, my eyes were real big, and like I kind of had a pissed off look on my face, and I was fine for a split second, but I didn't see the rest of it when I wiped my eyes. And, the glass went right onto my face. I kind of shook it off my face for a minute, and then wiped the little pieces that I had in my eye out. And then, my eye was a little irritated, but I didn't really think much of it. And it wasn't until later that day that, the small shards and particles of glass, that were on my cornea, is what really caused the irritation. And I personally didn't even want to get looked at a doctor, but as I was trying to, get on with my weight cut, my eye just started killing me, and I was advised to go see a doctor and get checked out. So, at that brief moment is when there was glass in my eye. I shook my head off, got all the glass off of me real quick. And to be truly honest, I was one of the many people who was trying to get off the bus. I was so pissed off at the fact that they threw a dolly through the window, a bunch of glass got in my face, cut Michael Chiesa, Rose was freaking out. I was just pissed. To be honest, people will say, oh, Conor will smash you with one punch. I didn't care. What he did was ridiculous. So I wanted to get off the bus, but they wouldn't let any of us off the bus.
Wow. So you were willing to go out there and just start fighting these guys. You were that mad.
Yeah. Hell, what they did was crazy. And to be honest, I'm not one to get bullied. I wasn't sitting on the bus like, oh my God, this is so crazy. This is so scary. I was pissed off, as well as my coach. If they were going to come on the bus, they were going to come on the bus. Let's get it cracking, win or lose. I don't fucking stand, I stand up for my shit. So, the fact that they threw the dolly through the window and all that shit happened, I was more anxious to just figure out what the hell's going on, get off the bus and handle my business. But, they weren't willing to do that.
So when you got back to the hotel and then your eyes started to swell and you're feeling it, becoming irritated and all that, you go to the hospital. What did they say to you? What did the doctors say? What kind of injury did you suffer?
So I was first checked out by the UFC's doctor, the doctor that they always have there. I forget his name, but I get checked out by him first, and he looks at my eye. He tells me it looks like I have some corneal abrasions, maybe iritis, because I was kind of sensitive to light. So as I get to the hospital, they admit me in, and they didn't just look at mine and say, oh yeah, your eye looks a little messed up, you can't fight. They ran like they did it twice just to double check and make sure. I had them do it twice. The first thing they did is they flushed my eye to get anything that was still in there out. And after they flushed my eye, they put some dye in it, and the dye pretty much helped them see clearly on the pupil. And then after they put the dye in it, they had what looked like a really big square magnifying glass with almost looked like black lights attached to it. And then they looked in my eye, and then as they looked into my eye, they said that I had multiple corneal abrasions, which was causing the irritation and a little bit of the blurriness that I was seeing. And then that's what they diagnosed me with.
Wow. And you knew right then and there they told you couldn't fight?
I didn't know. No, I really didn't know because, to be honest, I thought I was going to be fine. My coach, Brandon, he had told me that he's gone through the same thing before, to where he's had shards of glass in his eye, and it just bugged him. And then they kind of gave him some drops and some medication, and they kind of, he was better in a few days. And even the UFC doctor told me that, it would be better within 72 hours. But I truly thought, okay, you know what? I came in, got checked out like they needed me to. Maybe they'll just send me on my way and give me give me stuff that USADA will approve, and I can take, the next couple of days until fight night and be fine. But no, they, it was after that the UFC doctor, as well as the doctor in the emergency room, didn't advise me to fight Saturday night.
How did you process that? Like, for you to pull out of a fight for that reason, we've been through the weight stuff. I mean, here you are, new chapter, father, you're coming off the DJ fight, and then this is the reason why you have to withdraw. How did you process it on Thursday and Friday?
Man, I was really frustrated at the whole situation because I kind of had already felt like, there's been some weird hazy moments in my career the last year and a half, some of them out of my control, with being sick, some of them in my control with, missing weight. There were some things that I could have handled better, some things that were completely out of my fault. And, I kind of thought I was completely out of the woodworks. I thought I was clear of, okay, let's move on with my career. Let's get a fresh start. Let's just start slamming through all these guys and try to get myself back to a title shot. And to be pulled off of a card because of something like this. And the frustrating part about it is people act like it was some kind of cop-out to sue Conor. I can give two shits about suing Conor. The point of this is I needed to fight that night to win. And, I have mouths depending on it, not just for the sense of getting a title shot. I just had a baby boy. I would much rather come home with, two paychecks rather than, possibly one paycheck for my son, and, to give him a better life, get back on track and start to work toward the title shot. So it's the last few days for me have just been a whirlwind of emotions, not what to think, more apologetic towards my fans, who have stuck with me. And, there's been times where I've been pulled off of cards and stuff like that. So, yeah, I was just more down about it and upset about this whole situation. And, feeling sorry for my fans who, look forward to actually watching me fight, not the crazy fans that say some ridiculous stuff on the internet, the more loyal fans.
That's the thing, and that was actually going to be my next question. To go through all of this, the disappointment, the injury, your eyes not feeling well, and then I'm sure to go online and to have people question you and say that you're looking for a way out, you're trying to get paid. I can't imagine what that's like. I mean, I can't imagine the rage to get to the point where you have to post a picture of yourself in a doctor's note. I don't even know why I wouldn't blame you if you deleted social media forever. For people to say that about you, to question you, it legitimately disgusts me, and I can't imagine how that makes you feel.
Yeah, I was advised to just leave it alone, not to say anything, just let the trolls be trolls. I was always told, don't feed the trolls, don't feed the trolls. but it had gotten to the point where some of these people were just getting so outrageous that, you know, I have to defend myself. I can't just like ignore certain things. You know, same thing with wanting to get off the bus when all this happened. I felt the need to defend myself. So, you know, as much as I would have rather not put all my put a doctor's note and everything that they gave me, I would have rather not had to do that. But unfortunately, the fan base that is involved with MMA right now required me to do that. I mean, the fans that are involved in this sport now, I mean, the Conor McGregor era came with two things. One, a great big deal of people watching the sport, but also a great new deal of dumb people watching the sport. Like, man, some of the stuff, what really started to get to me on social media is when people started to more or less come after my family. If you're going to start talking crap about me and things like that, whatever, I don't care. I have thick skin. I can take it. It don't matter to me. These people don't have faces. But when they're getting on my social media, you know, calling my wife a fat hoe and like just ridiculous stuff. I mean, I had some people even tell me that they wish the dolly would have went through the window and blew my head off. Like, man, people are insane. So, you know, it's sad. It is very sad to see what a lot of these MMA fans have come to. But, you know, I had to post something just to kind of defend myself in this whole situation. Let people know, you know, what the hell do I want to cop out for? I got in the sport to make money off of beating people, not suing people. So,
Right.
you know, I just felt the need to defend myself.
I was at the courthouse on Friday, and there is an order of protection on your behalf. Is that something you asked for, or is that something that they just put in place because you were one of the people affected?
Yeah, it was just something that was advised. I mean, something that was put into place. Because I was one of the people injured and stuff like that. So, I mean, like I said, I don't know what's going to happen from here on out. I really don't. To be honest, I don't give two shits what happens here on out. Like, if there's a court date and, you know, there's lawsuits involved, that's not my main focus. My main focus is my newborn baby boy and hopefully getting a fight rebooked as quick as possible and getting back on track. You know, I can give two shits what's going on with Conor and his whole situation.
Are you planning on suing Conor McGregor or anyone else involved in that incident?
I don't know. I don't know what the process is right now. Like, I honestly, Ariel, if I could tell you, yeah, I'm going to sue him. Yeah, I already have a lawyer. You know, that would be something that's not, you know, evidently true. I don't have a lawyer. I don't have anything in place. I don't know what's going on. It's been a few days since what's happened, and I'm more or less looking forward to, you know, seeing my son and getting something rebooked as fast as I can. I'd rather fight than try to fight Conor McGregor in court, you know?
Are people hitting you up trying to offer you legal advice?
Yeah, I mean, I ignore it because, like I said, I don't want to deal with all this stuff right now. This isn't my main focus is to sue Conor, you know. But people are coming out of the woodworks. Hey, I'm a lawyer who specializes in this kind of stuff. I blah 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 blah. I've just been muting everything. I've been trying to stay off my social media as much as I can. But yeah, I mean, people are trying to come at me, trying to tell me, oh, you need to sue him. But it is what I don't know what's going to happen.
Have they told you when you will be able to fight again?
So no, I haven't heard anything from the UFC on being rebooked or anything like that. I think what they want is, I need to set up an appointment with an ophthalmologist just to double check, make sure, you know, there's not going to be any, I mean, that's the thing too, is people are saying that I had a cop out. You know what? If I would have got like a piece of glass in my arm, whatever, but these are my eyes. I got to see with them. And I don't even have good eyesight as it is. And, you know, people think that because I wear glasses, they're like some type of universal protection field. Anybody who wears glasses knows that you still get shit in your eye. But so I just need to go see an ophthalmologist, you know, get checked out again, double check, make sure there's, you know, nothing that's going to be harmful in the future. And as soon as I get cleared from an ophthalmologist, then I'm sure, you know, we can start talking to the UFC about what's next.
How does it look right now? Does it look like, is it still swollen?
No, there's just some redness. I mean, they gave me some good numbing drops that's kind of helped take down the swelling. I mean, to be honest, it's more irritating than anything. Like, you know, I just want to rub it the whole time. But, you know, it's just real red. The swelling's gone down. You know, it's not as sensitive to light right now. So, you know, it's just real red. And, you know, hopefully when I see an ophthalmologist, he'll say I should be fine. You know, they did a CAT scan actually when I was at the hospital just to double check and make sure there wasn't any glass stuck in the back of my eye. You know, they've said that they've seen instances where people come in with metal in their eye and they don't know that it's in there for like a week, and then they do a CAT scan later and it turns out it's, you know, deep in their eye and they have to perform surgery. So, you know, they did a CAT scan when I was at the hospital and they say there's no permanent damage to, you know, anything serious in my eye. It's just the surface. So, hopefully that's some good news.
Are you hoping to fight Moreno whenever
Yes,
you're cleared?
yeah. Hopefully I can get cleared right away, and the UFC can book me right away, so that way we can just get mine and Moreno's fight rolling again. That's a fight that I really, really like. The fight I was really looking forward to. I mean, one, I just feel like I match up so greatly against him, and two, he always brings a fun fight. So, I was looking forward to having some fun.
And so at this point, the UFC said that you'll be compensated. Do you feel like you're being taken care of? Do you feel, there are people saying, oh, you should get your win and your show. They said it's going to be the show, I believe. Do you feel like they're doing the right thing? Obviously, they didn't want this to happen. They're in a tough spot as well. How do you feel about how they've handled it?
I feel like the UFC's handled it fine. I haven't talked to anybody personally about whether or not, I just read tweets that saying Dana White said we're getting our show pay. Other than that, I don't know what goes on. That's why people are crazy to think that I'm just looking for an easy way out, of a fight and get paid. There's no guarantee we ever get paid when things like this happen, like ever. So, I've read that I saw tweets and stuff saying that Dana White said that people who were involved were going to get their show pay, which, I think is fair considering the circumstances. I think the UFC does a great job of handling all this. I really do. I mean, that's one thing people don't see is they see Dana White, they see Sean Shelby, they see, all those guys handling stuff, but they don't see everybody, in the offices handling stuff. And I really think the UFC staff has done a great job of handling all this. I don't know maybe if other fighters such as, Felder are going to get paid more because their situation was different, to where he lost out on the fight because they had to use his opponent. I don't know what's going to happen, but, I trust that the UFC will take care of us.
Ray, I really appreciate you coming on. I'm so sorry that this happened. I'm happy it's not too serious, and it sounds like you'll be able to fight sooner rather than later. So that is great news. And thank you for doing this. And again, I don't know if it means anything, but I'm sorry on behalf of the MMA community. I'm sorry that you had to go through, that abuse online. It's appalling. It's disgusting. And I hope there's a lot of people in the community that don't feel that way. So hopefully you're able to move on from this and get back in there and support your family. Again, I really appreciate you coming on and talking about this.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks, Ariel, for having me on.